Power to the people. How's everybody doing this morning? Hope everybody's blessed. Hope everybody is motivated. I hope everybody's inspired. Because we got so much more work to do, people. I got into a conversation with a white person who didn't quite understand the difference between us and them as far as opportunity, and he said to me that you don't know people's situations enough to sit there and criticize or have an opinion on what they have to do or what they had to do to be where they are. So I shouldn't judge. And I had to tell him with all due respect, yes, that to a certain degree that is true. But and then he goes on to say, like, I've lived in 4 different countries, and it's been hardships and this and that. And I'm like, oh really, you lived in 4 different countries? Like, okay, I may have lived in 4 different states, but you've lived in 4 different countries. Like, your knowledge is abroad. Like, you've done some things off of your privilege to do so, because in order to live in 4 different countries, you have had to have some nest egg or some financial success to be able to even do that. So I'm like, oh great, good for you. You lived in 4 different countries, white man. And I go on to tell him that we don't have the same opportunities to do those type of things. And if we are afforded the opportunities to live in 4 different countries, better believe that it hasn't been a generation of black people who've been able to do that. You might be the first one in your family to ever do that. It's not something that's been passed down throughout generation. Like, a black man who graduates college, summa cum laude, or has a master's or a medical degree, sometimes it's the first of their generation, family wise. Like, it's never an ongoing thing. It's that one family member who goes out to be that ultimate success as far as credentials are concerned. For the most part, poverty has stricken us severely to the point where making plans for the future are minimal. We have to constantly be aware of our surroundings when we living out there in poverty-stricken environments as black people. We have to mainly watch out for ourselves, because we are a threat and a harm to one another as black people. Also seldomly seen, you may have some black people who really do work together and get along, but that is a percentage. That is a very small percentage of black people in poverty-stricken environments. So please, sir, if you've never been in those kind of situations, understand why me and you differ. If you never had to lose a family member to constant gun violence, or if you never had to lose a parent to diabetes because they didn't have health insurance to get the proper treatments, if you never had a child being taken away from you, because the law or the system felt that you were unfit to take care of this child because of your financial situation. If you've never had to go through any of these things, sir, there is not really much to discuss in the matter of who is capable and privileged to do what, or has the advantage to do what. It is obvious that where a door is open for you, we have to bust down the wall to walk through. And that's just, the nature of black people here in America. We never get the easy way out of anything, or the easy way in to anything. It's always going to be a struggle. It's always going to be a fight. It is always going to be a speculation of what we are, who we are, our standards, our morals, when these things are clear. These things are very clear on who's the oppressed and who's the oppressor. We shouldn't even have to debate on that. Looking at the conditions and the opportunities that are afforded. So Nipsey Hussle said something very profound. He said, "You waste time. You waste more time talking to somebody who doesn't want to listen. You know, somebody who you waste more and more effort in trying to beat somebody down with the logic, with the intelligence of something, and they still gonna see it their way, and it's like falling on deaf ears." So I kindly backed out of that conversation, and his view is his view, and my view is still my view. And you know, he'll probably go off to say whatever he needs to say about black people, and I'll go off to say whatever I need to say as far as I'm sharing with you guys right now about that experience I had. But we as a people just got to keep getting better, you know, because they will never understand the logic behind why we are the way we are. It hasn't been broken down to them historically. You know, they think that, you know, I mean, they put it right in front of us with movies, and as far as slavery movies where you have a master and a slave, like these were real situations, and to put it that up close and personal with people should give them the notion to know, okay, this really happened. Like white people really enslaved black people. So it shouldn't be a question of opportunity. They put it blatantly in front of us. You put it blatantly in front of us, white people, with your slave movies, with your masters. Like this is something of the norm. Like this is the way it was supposed to be, so you don't think nothing's wrong with it. But no, this is a time right now where you're gonna have to get with it or get out the way. Because, you know, it's to a point now where, no, we're not going to be your slaves. We're not going to be, you're not going to talk to us any kind of way anymore. You're not going to not give us the same equal rights anymore. You know, we have enough of us out here now doing positive things with money to fund our own businesses and our own people. We don't really need you. You know, I've heard in interviews saying like when you don't need something from white people, they get frantic. If they trying to offer you money and you decline, they get a little paranoid. Like why you don't need anything from me? What do you got going on that you don't need nothing from me? We need to keep that mentality going. We need to do less and less for them and more for us. Not out of a racist place, but we're just so far behind in the race of success and prosperity that we need not worry about anybody giving us a handout. We need to solely focus on us and us alone. Not because we hate everybody else. It's because we're so far behind in the race that we have to strengthen one another now, so we can have the same equal opportunities and give our children the same equal opportunities here in America, because they're not afforded to us. We're blessed at a point right now where we do have strong-minded and strong-willed black people who are taking a stand and putting us in a better position to be financially free and do things for ourselves. And this is a salute to all of you. So from this point on, people are going to think the way they think. They're going to think the way they think. But it's our job and our responsibility to think the way we think and keep ourselves first and have more love and compassion for ourselves, regardless of what people are trying to tell us.